Hey everybody, my name is Rydo and today we're playing Realms of Haunting. This intro for this game is pretty long, so let's start it right now. Intro, you'd think replay intro would just replay the intro instead of also having a making of and a credits option, but whatever. I guess that's just bad labeling in the menu part. So this is an interesting game. It's one of the games I've gotten for free, so this November I'm going through all the games that I've gotten for free since starting my channel. Not because I'm a video game critic, but simply because it was free on Steam or the Humble store or a tweet was put out. But because I got it for free, I didn't particularly pick this game, and I have very little investment in it as such. And so I'm giving all of these games 30 minutes to see if they catch my attention, and I might want to actually play it. I'm noticing a pattern here too. This is made by Gremlin Entertainment. I've already covered one of their games called Normality, and they seem to have a specific style in a few things that I can tell right off the bat. They have incredibly long intros that are interesting to look at, like full video intros for the year that this was made, this is pretty old, you can tell. But in this game, it is also full motion video that we will start seeing here in a moment. So you start with CGI that for the day and time you really could only get away with by computer animating. You couldn't cheaply film something like that. But then it goes into the next section after this point, and we start seeing a voiceover with the audio sounding pretty good, actually. And the video looks, by modern standards, awful, but when it came out, probably was pretty impressive. And this is a weird game because it is going to combine, much like Normality, a 3D environment.
My father died 6 months
with a
ago.
point-and-click adventure game, but also with first-person shooting, a la Doom or Wolfenstein.
I hadn't seen him as often.
I would say probably closer to Doom.
You know how it is. You think you've got all the time in the world to sort things out?
Seems. Now, Normality for the American version hired Corey Feldman.
You'll call him next week.
I don't know if that is anybody famous.
Then the letter from
they
the
have
lawyers,
the
and
actor
suddenly it's all
playing.
too late.
Like, that might
Nothing
be
you can
Corey
do.
Feldman for all I know.
All the words
It's
you
been
want to say.
many a decade
Silence.
since this game
Right.
came out. And this is
My father
an
was the pastor in the Cornish
incredibly
village.
slow
He
introduction
was
for a game.
Had time for everyone.
It's kind of
Except
well
the son.
written, though.
I can't explain it, but lately I've begun to dream about a house. Incredibly vivid dreams.
So then they mix the CGI, and then they throw in some more actors. This was right on the cusp of things like the 7th Guest, the 11th Hour, things that were more first-person.
I had other dreams at that time.
Full motion video,
just as real,
combined.
but not unpleasant. Quite
Ironically, like
I was certain that I'd
Borderlands
never
1,
met
a
her.
game decades later,
but that she really existed.
used a slight bit of full motion video, and games like this use a lot more.
He was the kind of
This
person
was,
my
of
father
course,
always
during the
disliked
days
and
of
distrusted.
CD-ROMs and maybe even
Nearly
up
shut
to
the door in his face.
DVD-ROMs, where you had enough space to have this footage. Most games
He said
now,
his name was Elias
potentially
Campbell.
you have
Apparently,
1 to
Dad
3
met at a conference a
Blu-rays
couple of
worth
years ago
of
and kept in
space,
touch off and on by
25 to
letter.
50 gigabytes per
He told me
Blu-ray,
the letters had become very agitated over the last few months.
and yet you still don't bother to
Father
put
had discovered
to
something
hire
in a strange
actors
house on the
and put
outskirts of
full
the
motion
village.
video. We're much into
Something terrible.
scanning faces and then animating the faces
were no
to
more
try and
letters.
match something
Just a
like The
parcel
Witcher
here before
3,
Dad died, with a covering note asking Camber to
where
make sure I got
the
it.
faces look realistic, but they're
Almost
still
all of what Camber told me was a
animated.
lie. There's no priest of that name in Cornwall. I checked. I ignored the whole thing for a while. Didn't want to think about it, I suppose.
There were a lot of
Dreams
games
have been getting
with
worse.
this style video where you would just click on one or two things and then walk around a stationary 2D area. So you would go from scene to stationary scene to stationary scene.
Fragments of some carved
there was a lot
objects.
more focus on the video. I
Some of the
think
pieces
in
are
this
missing.
case we're going to just
I've looked in every reference
see
book I
this
can think
intro and then
I'm none the
very
wiser what they
possibly
might
for the
be.
next 30 minutes not
do
see
know they're
any
powerful.
more cutscene at all. This is really, really long. This potentially could be the large bulk of the video. It's worth putting out.
So here I am.
think you can only
At
get
the house Camber spoke of.
like
The house of my
70
nightmares.
minutes of video on a CD-ROM. Of course, this could have been a game that
feel
was 3 or
I've been
4
brought here by
CD-ROMs.
I don't know
But
what it
you've
is,
also got to squeeze in
or what it wants.
at least maybe 100 megabytes of space for the actual game. But this is like a movie. And I imagine somebody could probably rather cheaply find out who owns Gremlin Entertainment these days if they're out of business, and then take the stories and then have some like bad actors just reshoot the entire story and make a movie out of it. For as much as Hollywood tries to make remakes and make some money off of it cheaply, it would be some easy money as long as you keep the budget down. I don't think you can particularly remaster a game like this. Wow, did those handles just change? I don't know what it was trying to imply there, whether the handles changed or whether they moved. And up to this point, you would just expect that this would be the next generation, an attempt at a new generation of point-and-click adventures games, which never really worked. 3D environment point-and-click adventure games don't work as a concept. Even things like the Broken Sword series prove that. They tried 3D in Broken Sword 3 and Broken Sword 4, and they had to go back to 2D for Broken Sword 5 to even interest anybody. I think inherently point-and-click adventure games don't work if you don't have the right writing, which means you have to pretty much have either a Sierra or LucasArts making the game, or the people that worked at that. Here's an interesting mistake, I would say. You start the game in this room, and however the menu is the same background when it should just be a different background, because this implies to me that the screen is messed up, and I left this game thinking, oh, well, the screen's messed up, I have to adjust the resolution. Not the case at all. So you transition from that room in the background, you see chapter 1, and then you transition back to the room, which is just silly. And it's just here to tell you things. So there's a chair here.
Won't budge.
And here's what you look like in the mirror. At least the mirror works.
Those eyes almost look real.
And so you can right click with the mouse to look, and you can left click.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
There's a mirror with a pentagram on the door.
This one's stuck fast.
And see, when I right click this image, nothing. When I right click this image.
Old suit of armor. All the pieces are wired together. Novel. Look Homeward Angel. There's a label on this. Colt trademark.
So we get a couple things, and this would almost indicate like this is a map or something, but it isn't. It's an inventory with a gun option, which we have a clip, and so we have book options.
Novel.
But can you
Novel.
actually read the book? Interesting. It seems like you can't. There's also a heavy reliance on having to hit escape. And then different characters. So maybe we'll eventually get some different characters too. Shards and seals. This doesn't seem to do anything.
There's a label on this. Colt trademark.
And it seems like I'm holding the book in my left hand now. But I can't do anything with it, so it's kind of an odd system. We can hear
God, what a stench.
flies, and it seems like there might be somebody inside that armor. Frankly, any 3D game like this has to stand up to Doom, and I don't feel like it does.
Good. Rat. No head.
And you can't just walk out the window and leave this place. The game seems to be
Budge.
almost like a Metrovania game too, where
Stop fast.
there's doors that you can't open until
Colt 45. Semi-automatic handgun.
and now you're just playing Doom. And that typewriter just... And wasn't this the room you started in? But it's dark. And I guess you have to click up here. Yeah, so you have one gun. And one clip. And you can equip these things by dragging them. But
Typed. Typed.
we live, we live, we live. Interesting. And you can drag it around. If you believe in a soul, if you believe in a spirit, if you have a God, pray for them. Interesting. So
There's something sticking.
current spat of crop circles baffle experts. So if we go back to this book, though it just seems to be a spinning book, doesn't seem like you can do anything with that one. Which makes me wonder, can you interact with this? No.
Colt 45.
Talk generally about seals reflection. Interesting. What does this do?
These fragments have some kind of occult markings, runes or something.
So I kind of wonder if perhaps these are...
These fragments, the seals, whatever they are,
I know they're important to something. The power within them makes me feel alive to their touch. And the dreams, they affect my dreams, intensify them. I must keep them close.
You can't do anything with the lamp, and you can't do anything with the matches. So my thought would be that maybe these...
Where's the lock on this damn thing? Where's the lock on this damn thing?
And no mouse button. No middle mouse button. Which would have been actually a lot...
Don't budge.
So how do I get the gun back? Like, what did I just do to put the gun away? And... what do I do to bring it back?
Painting of a sarcophagus.
And you'd think for an old game like this, if it was just walking around with no shooting, I might be willing to play this. But kind of as it is.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Seems like there's two in the mirror, and there's nothing special here other than the fact that there's just these shields. You know what's funny is...
This one's stuck fast. Won't budge. Locked.
This whole area... I think I've been through it all.
Ceramic vase. There's a label on this. Colt trademark.
Take. So now I have 2 clips.
This symbol's glowing. Stuck fast. Don't budge. Where's the lock on this damn thing?
This is like a covered thing.
Don't budge. Where's the lock on this damn thing? Stuck fast. This symbol's glowing.
And this symbol, compared to anything else, is really different.
Light switch doesn't appear to be working.
And how do you get your gun back? That just says quit the DOS. Click on this. How do we get the menu? Well, if you right click, you can walk without using the arrow keys, which, okay, fair enough. And these guys just face you because they're not animating as many angles as you would need. Although this guy and this guy stay sideways, where this one is facing you, regardless of which way you look. So this guy is an enemy. The only problem is I've not figured out. I've lost the ability. Oh, I guess you have to get up into this. And clip. Gun. And we'll put the book back here. And see if this brings the gun back up.
God, what a stench.
So A jumps. Q, W, S, D does nothing. Z crouches. C, something there. Just put my gun away. One would expect that left stick would, like, okay, control. So control fires. And I'm just wasting bullets now.
Sorcerer? Elias Camber, if I'm not mistaken. He's holding a mask. There he is again. Elias Camber.
It seemed like there was something I could do to take the mask for a second there.
Cult-style robes.
Let's see if we can shoot out mirrors. Yes, you can. Interesting. And now this one's turning. Wasting all my bullets. Oh, here's a door. So maybe I have done something to unlock it, or maybe I just missed that door. Let's actually get into some gameplay here.
Locked.
Nope, that didn't work. Oh, I see. You're supposed to use the matches. So, this here. And so I guess maybe if this is control, maybe this is alt. I can't read the text at all. So that works with the right click. And that works with the right click.
Brass key.
And I just got hit with something, but it seemed like it didn't do any damage to me. Oh, it did. It took out health. So this is your health bar. Honestly, this was just not the kind of interface. It's not a fast-paced experience that you would have with something like Doom. And while the mystery and the full motion video is an intriguing extras to have in a game like this, I would much prefer to play something that was slow-paced and you didn't have a health bar, where you could just play a point-and-click adventure. So if this was a pure flat scene point-and-click adventure, in the sense that you click from one area to another area and there isn't a lot of hallways where nothing is going to be found, or potentially something is going to be found, but lots of times there won't be things that can be found. Adventure games are all about limiting where items are so you can actually have a chance of finding them, particularly on old games where it's a pixel hunt anyways to try and figure out where that item is. So adding a 3D environment, much in the same way with normality, doesn't do anything useful. So you could remake this game sort of easily just by putting in the cutscenes in a different game.
I wish with all my heart that I could send you away from here.
But why not just at that point go ahead and just remake all of it?
You must free me.
Just use the script and have new actors, new video that would look a lot better.
My body lies beneath the gravestone, but my soul is trapped, tormented by the darkness that inhabits this place.
It's a little cheesy, certainly, but it's
You
not
are my
terrible.
only hope.
It's actually rather good acting for video games.
My prison and my jailer, binding me against my will to suffer the tortures of the damned. The damned is what they are. I cannot help you beyond this message. It is not just a matter of my soul's destiny. Stakes are far greater than you can possibly imagine.
Dad, please. I don't understand.
You must try, my boy. Find Alf. He is a kindred spirit and will be as a brother to you. Once a proud knight, he too is held. They returned. Adam, for the love of God, remember these words. Remember my warnings. You are the last hope.
They really skipped over the part where he just freaked out seeing a ghost. So Black Knights and mummies or monsters. Seems like they chose their enemy kind style specifically for just because they had a bunch of armor sitting around. And that was all of chapter 1. Wow. And then you have...
What's that book he's reading?
So, I probably could, with not too much struggle, play this game all the way to the end. The thing we're missing is we haven't so far run into any enemies to shoot. And that seems like to go through an entire chapter. Seems like there's something that's supposed to be there.
What the hell is that?
Let's not do that.
Doesn't appear to be working. Won't open. I can't see any hinges or anything.
It seems like you can just walk out of the area. And in some places it seems like you can even just turn on the lights. There's a lot of items. That seems to be a trademark of Gremlin Interactive Games too, is you pick up an incredible amount of things. What kind of shield? I just picked up a shield. And it's blocking my vision, so I can't pick up these items. And maybe there's a secret book somewhere in the bookcase. Maybe there isn't. I kind of wish the shield would disappear. Of course, that shield would have been really useful before. Let's go ahead and equip the gun. We've got
Statuette covered in gold leaf.
We've got all these gold leaf statues of snakes, and then one of them looks green, and then we've got all these other masks and tons of books, letters, and here we have more characters. So you can tell there's only 10 characters in the whole game. At any point it seems like you're only going to have 10 items of any one category. This is going to be an incredibly short thing. And the shooting is just downright... It's horrible. And it's a wide variety of enemies. It seems like that's how it's gonna play. Having to line yourself up with the controller, and like maybe I could play this way with the right stick, the right mouse button, but I'm not sure.
Don't budge.
And you're still like still not able to like
Where's the lock on this damn thing?
open these doors. So there must be something more to it in the office. That would be my guess. And you run into one enemy.
Not fast. Doesn't appear to be working.
And of all the masks we collected, I don't believe I saw a mask like this.
There he is again. Elias Camber.
So every indication is that there's probably each one of these indents I'm supposed to put one of these on. But I'm not sure yeah. So back into the menu, you take one of these, see if you can put 2 of them in there, and then let's see if maybe the control button would then work. Nope. So a lot of manipulation just to get to the point where you can place all of these. Well, compared to normality, this is a lot more playable. This is definitely a lot more durable of a game, but you would still need to bang your head against some pretty bad shooting elements that are there for no reason whatsoever. What kind of furniture piece would you call that? That's way too short to be a secretariat. It's some kind of desk at a incredibly short height. And you can see there's 2 more snakes somewhere in this game. And if you apparently don't have any bullets, you can just hit control and punch things. clearly an influence here from Doom that was unnecessary. It's good that games influence each other. It's bad when games influence each other that don't need to be influenced. But of all the bad games, and I still would call this a bad game that I've played so far, that I've gotten free, this is one of them that I actually would potentially consider playing. But it has a little too much. It's too old, it looks ugly, it's going to be incredibly short, we can already tell. It's going to have a terrible shooting mechanic. It's very possible that we would get halfway through the game and then be in a scenario where we have to shoot and to save our life and we just fail over and over again. I have no idea what happens if we lose all of our health, but very possibly that would just be game over and you'd have to start over. For a game like this, it seems like it's going to be short. It wouldn't be uncommon for them to pull tricks like that and make you try and play the game over and over again. I recently played a game that I did purchase called The Black Mirror that was very terrible about that. It would kill you right when you were at the end of a chapter, and each chapter was hours and hours of gameplay, and it never auto-saved you. It never gave you any hope that you could do any of that. In fact, I don't even know if you can save in this game. Let's see. Yes you can, but there's like no idea or thought of an autosave by default. So yeah, this is not one I would play, but I could certainly understand it. I bet I'm supposed to light these candles. That might be the trick. Yeah. Well, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.